Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Imani Shamsuddin.
And I'm Tirza Sprigella. Let's take a look at the news. Bradley's Short Film Club will be holding a premiere on Monday, April 29th in the lower level of the Student Center. Here is a special behind-the-scenes look at their latest short film, Undergrad. Filming took place on a snowy April Sunday. The club managed to adapt its original plan of filming outside to film inside Marken. Hilltop Films was formed a couple years ago. Each semester they make a short film while also accumulating side projects from businesses outside Bradley. The club is always looking for new members from any major. The premiere will include the 4 short films the organization has completed since its inception. Although Undergrad will not be shown at the premiere, here is a sneak peek of what one will see at this free event.
Great, it's locked. And now it's raining. Super. All right, guys, which direction are we going? Left or right? Left.
I'm pretty sure it's right.
It's left.
What makes you think that? We took a right turn to get here, which means we take a right turn to get back.
No, that's the exact opposite of what we need to do right now.
Guys.
Well, I'm going right. Right is right.
Liz, please.
Guys!
What? Sam.
Come to the hall.
The newest Ryogo androids is causing a stir among several human dignity groups.
Dr. Campbell, rumors about Ryogo Industries have been spreading. Can you please tell America about this insight in the industry?
I am not doing this again. I'm not.
Where are you?
Have you told Dr. Campbell?
Oh, you should mention that you're a writer.
No, sure, let them know you're a writer.
Hey, his story was the first one in his high school short story booklet.
There were 326 people enrolled in that school.
I didn't even know the library had a basement.
Did you realize we're in the economics section?
Well, that can't be right.
This free event will be held on Monday, April 29th at 7 o'clock in the Executive Suite, which is located in the lower level of the Student Center.
Last Saturday night, the Garrett Center held an event named Women Who Empowers Women Empowerment Brunch. This event was special for all that attended. As students from around campus came to the Garrett Center, many of them found friends from this event. The environment was completely relaxed, as much as one would be in front of family members, where someone could eat and have a conversation based on ideals or simply joke around. It also showed these women taking pride from their past into whom they've become and why it was so important. If you'd like to follow this group, contact womenwhoempower2016@gmail.com. How much do you know about the history of art? Why is it important? This past Friday, the art department held their Visual Voices lecture series with artist Laura Holzman. The talk was about studying art history and the importance of communities to know about art history. Jacob Hicks has more from the GCC.
This past Thursday, the art department held their final Visual Voices lecture with guest artist Laura Holzman. The topic was Engaged Art History, Collaborative Curation of Practice, and the House Life Project, where she talked about how studying art history influenced her work.
Art history has influenced my work in so many ways. I think probably the biggest way is that I have structured my work with the goal of changing the way that people think about the value of art history.
Laura teaches courses in art history and museum studies at Heron School of Art and Design at IUPUI, where she is the Associate Professor, a Public Scholar of Curation of Practices and Visual Art. She received her PhD and MA in Visual Studies at University of California, Irvine, as well as her BA with honors in art history at Swarthmore College. In her lecture, she explains the importance for communities to understand art and its history.
I want people to know about the work that I do because it offers yet another model for how art history can be valuable in creating meaningful, positive social change.
Laura currently has her first book out titled Contested Image, Defining Philadelphia for the 21st Century, where she analyzes public discourse, historical art, and the struggle to shape Philadelphia's reputation during an important moment of change in the city. As the night concluded, there was a Q&A session about her lecture, and one of the questions I asked was, what type of advice would you give to art majors and minors?
I would tell college artists to look at as many examples of other artwork as they can look at, to really build their visual vocabulary and their points of reference. I would also tell college artists to take your art history classes seriously, because that's one of the ways that you develop that set of visual points of reference.
This event was a total success, and even though this is the end of the lecture series this semester, look out for more events like this in the fall 2019 semester. For BUTV News, I'm Jacob Hicks.
How much do you know about the cause of climate change? Why is it important to know about the impact of climate change? Last night, the Global Scholars Program hosted a lecture titled The Science and Politics of Global Climate Change. This presentation talked about the problems and solutions for climate change from a biological and a political perspective. Jacob Hicks has more from Bradley Hall.
Last night, the Global Scholars Program hosted an event called The Science and Politics of Global Climate Change, with guest speaker Dr. Jeannie Bukowski. She talked about the main problem with global climate change.
Lack of knowledge, especially in the United States. People don't tend to understand the mechanisms behind it, so it's become such a political issue that people either believe in it or not believe in it, depending upon what side of the political spectrum they're in.
Dr. Bukowski is an associate professor in the Institute of International Studies here at Bradley. Following a private sector experience that included an association with Caterpillar, she completed her PhD in political science with concentrations in international relations and comparative politics from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Her areas of expertise include international organizations, integration, the European Union, and the environmental politics and policy, particularly transbounding water issues. During her lecture, she talked about the relationship between science and politics.
There is certainly the potential, and I think overall there is a very positive relationship between, and that's what we call the science policy interface, basically. But there's a tension, especially with scientists who feel that if they are not strictly engaging in science, and then the results are either used or not by policymakers, I think overall it's absolutely necessary and overall positive, but there are barriers involved in that interface.
Towards the end of her lecture, she talked about some solutions that we could, as a society, help limit global climate change.
At all levels, but especially I think the individual level in terms of people understanding it and acting upon it, but also it's a global problem. It has to be a global solution. So we need the Paris Accord to be implemented, and we need to move forward in terms of agreements, and that those agreements are going to have to involve renewable energy.
If you're interested in learning more about this topic, there will be a class offered in the fall semester called Science and Politics of Global Climate Change. Likewise, you could study abroad in Costa Rica during the J-term semester. You can find more information by contacting Dr. Jeannie Bukowski at jbukow@bradley.edu. For BUTV News, I'm Jacob Hicks.
A group of Bradley students is aiming to make a lasting change for the young members of the Peoria area. Down at City Hall of Peoria Town Hall, Misa Nagase, Megan Anderson, Kristen Drew, and Kyle Powers met with Sergeant Anthony Rummins of Peoria PD for their capstone public relations project. Their goal is to create Peoria's first youth neighborhood association. Neighborhood associations are groups that discuss issues within their neighborhood and come up with solutions to those issues. The group aims to get younger community members interested in such groups earlier on.
We've been working with Quest High School and Peoria High School in order to talk to them about the importance of joining neighborhood associations, and we have our first event, which is the first meeting of the neighborhood association called West Bluff Home Space on April 30th.
After noticing the gap in youth voices in neighborhood, the group set out to make sure that gap can be filled and that the youth of Peoria can make their voices heard. The group says it's the first level of activism that a local person could get into without being elected, allowing any public member to join. With their success, this program will live on long after they graduate.
Bradley students were visited by a Bradley alum last week to learn a few of the ins and outs of money management. Here's Nelson Gutierrez with the story.
As the end of the school year edges closer, the conclusion to the undergrad experience now looms over several senior students. While many may wonder what life after Bradley may look like, the abundance of resources that may help with that question often aren't clearly seen amongst all the pressure. Enter Mateusz Kozarek, a 2016 alumnus returning to the Bradley stage to be of service to impending graduates. With his practical knowledge of finances and money management, Matt wanted to give students a lesson on the concept of mastering money, as well as the pitfalls that hold many people back.
I think a lot of students have questions what to do with their first paycheck, right? They've gone to school for 4 to 5 years maybe, not making a dime, and then all of a sudden after graduation they're making more than they've ever made. And so really being able to do something with that and being confident, I think that's the biggest thing.
Matt is currently a financial advisor for Northwestern Mutual, where he assists people with a wide variety of financial issues. Speaking to students, he was aware of just how intricate the concept of money management is, and why students often don't take the time to educate themselves on it, which is why Matt decided to incorporate it into his lectures with students.
It's not getting to it. So time. I think it's time. I think as people step into their first role as a working professional and start to move up the ladder, so to speak, and maybe make more money, get a little bit more established, settle down, life doesn't slow down.
While the subject of finances does scare off many people from learning more about it, Matt believes it is important to see the best in those with limited financial knowledge and to help them from there.
I think people yearn for knowledge, but they don't know who to ask. On the outside, I think everybody looks like they're really well taken care of. Maybe they're afraid to ask for help, or they don't know who to ask, right? So just trusting the source or the individual that they're partnering with to help them.
The end of one's college education is rife with anxiety, as well as a sea of questions of what to do next. Fortunately, there are people out there willing to help with those questions, and as Matt had described in his lecture, yearning for knowledge is the best place to begin. Nelson Gutierrez, BUTV News.
On Monday night, there was a game night for people to join at the Student Center for $2 per person. Let's check what they had in store for us.
On Monday night in the Michael Student Center Executive Suite, the Global Scholars Program held a trivia night for anyone interested in having fun. A member from this explains in further detail.
The Global Scholars Program is a designation that is earning recognition of achievement in global business studies.
As we know more about this, we also look at the significance of this event for those who join and what it means for the program.
And for these, there's many things you need to do. For example, study abroad, go to events that involve global business, and this is one of those events we're trying to fundraise in order to have more events in the future.
Later on throughout the event, we asked the winner of the challenging trivia what her experience felt like.
It was fun. It was a lot of challenging questions. Some I wasn't expecting, and it was a good time in general.
If you would like to follow this program further, contact El Zuniga at mail.bradley.edu. For BUTV News, my name is Joshua Blake.
Up next, we will have weather from Keegan Barkhart, and there we'll find out what coats we'll need after the break.
Can someone get me a notepad? I'll need to write this down.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Oh,
Is it good?
oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
You're not in here. Yes, I am. Move! Give it to him hard! No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
All right, Keegan, so Teaser and I are wondering what coats we will be needing because thus far, again, the weather's been fluctuating. So what are we expecting?
I've liked it so far, not to lie.
Yeah, honestly, if I were you guys, I would just keep out like the full seasonal stuff right now. You know, maybe keep some winter stuff, maybe bring out some spring stuff. We're still a little iffy on some things, but I have some good news for you guys over here at the radar for us. So, as you guys can see right now, we are pretty much in the clear. Everything that's bad is south of us right down here, just south of St. Louis. There's some scattered thunderstorms, lots of rain happening down there, and it's going to continue moving northeast up through Indianapolis into central and northern Ohio as well. So we're going to be seeing just some cloudy skies going in to tonight and all day tomorrow as well. If we want to look up our temperature map over here as well, as you guys can see, there is a little bit of a cold front circling central Illinois right here. So it may be a little bit chillier today as it was opposed to this awesome Easter weekend when it was a little warmer. But we are going to hopefully see some warmer weather coming up here. Down south in Kentucky, it's really warm with a nice 76 degrees. And then, like I said, around 56 degrees in Peoria as well. If we want to see our 5-day forecast right here, you guys can see that it is going to be warmer tomorrow. It's going to be a high of 72 degrees, so might be able to wear some shorts, but won't be seeing as much sun, so maybe won't be able to go out to the alumni quad and get your tanning on. That might not be possible, but we're going to see some sun Friday. Unfortunately, Saturday, it's going to be raining a little bit, so if I were you, I would maybe not go out Saturday and go out Friday instead. And going in Monday, we're going to see some rain with a little bit of lower temperatures at 45 degrees. So that's all I have for your weather forecast this week. Now to give it up to Misa Nagase for your entertainment news.
Earth Day was this Monday as people around the globe recognize the importance of sustaining the planet we live on. Now, the largest secular holiday in the world, Earth Day is celebrated by more than 1 billion people every year. According to the Earth Day Network, each year's Earth Day is dedicated to a different theme. The 2019 theme focused on the protection of millions of plant and animal species from going extinct. Due to humans, the world is facing the greatest rate of extinction since the dinosaurs were lost more than 60 million years ago. To slow the rapid rate of extinction, Earth Day Network set forth a few goals. They hope to educate people about the extinction rate, support green policy change, build a global movement that embraces nature, and encourage individual habit changes. These individual changes would include switching to plant-based diets and eliminating the use of pesticides and herbicides. The earth is the most important thing that we all have in common. Only together can we save it. Moving on to music, rapper, singer, and flautist Lizzo released her album 'Cause I Love You to critical acclaim on Friday. Her music is unapologetic and centers around mantras of self-love. As a plus-size black woman, she's a face in the industry that we often do not get to celebrate. Lizzo decided to be a singer when she was in her 20s after a bout of serious depression. Now she hopes to empower other black and POC women by encouraging them to find their voices. Lizzo emphasizes body positivity to her fans and often interacts with them on social media. She says that it's important for her audience to know her, especially in this digital age. Be sure to check out her new album. In local news, Rent is coming to the Peoria Civic Center this Thursday and Friday. The show is touring for its 20th anniversary. The musical, set in the 1990s, follows a group of New Yorkers. We dive into the lives of young people struggling with their careers, love lives, and the effects of the AIDS epidemic on their community. Purchase tickets at peoriaciviccenter.com.
It's a lot of good stuff. I'm a big musical theater fan, so hopefully I can catch
Definitely
that.
check
So
out
excited to
Rent.
see her. Oh my gosh.
Stick around to learn about what Bradley's upcoming spring play will be, Sense and Sensibility.
We will also learn why staying active is so important with Joey's senior bucket list.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Sense and Sensibility is a novel by Jane Austen, published in 1811. The novel follows the three Dashwood sisters as they move with their widowed mother from the estate on which they grew up. Bradley is putting on a play based on this novel. Our reporter, Sheridan, is live from the Hartman Center with one of the principal cast members.
Bradley's theater department is returning with another play to close out this spring semester. They're currently hard at work rehearsing for an adaptation of Jane Austen's classic novel, Sense and Sensibility. The play opens tomorrow, and I'm here with Ashley Owens, one of the actors in the play, to learn more. Hi, Ashley.
Hello.
So can you tell me a little bit about what this play is about?
For sure. So Sense and Sensibility is basically about love. The love between Eleanor and Marianne Dashwood, and also the love that Eleanor has for Edward Ferrars and Marianne has for Colonel Brandon and Willoughby. So it's just so much about figuring out how to operate within the society and how much pressure these women feel to fall in love and be with men who are going to help support them, and then also figuring out what they mean to each other and to themselves.
That's amazing. And what character are you playing in this play?
I play Marianne Dashwood, the middle child.
Okay. And can you tell me how you specifically fit this character?
So I personally don't think I fit Marianne in the exact same way. She's a very open person. She lives life very much the extremes. She embraces all the highs and lows, and I like to stay more in the middle. So by playing Marianne, I realized that it's okay to embrace everything that life has to offer, because life really is all about the highs and lows, a little bit about the middle ground, but really experiencing life to the fullest.
Amazing. And is it intimidating acting out such a beloved and well-known story?
Yes, yes it is. Our amazing playwright, Kate Hamill, who came and visited a few weeks ago, she played Marianne, so she saw the show, and I was like, oh, I hope she likes it. And then Kate Winslet played it in the movie adaptation, so it feels like a lot of pressure, but I mean, everyone's interpretation is different, so I really feel comfortable with how I've seen Marianne and how I'm playing her right now.
Okay. And I only have time for one more question for you, but how long will this play be running for?
We open tomorrow and we run through May 5th, so this weekend and next weekend.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And reporting live from BUTV from the Hartman Center, I am Sheridan Hertig.
It's time to hear Bradley students' thoughts on the most anticipated film of the season, Avengers Endgame, on this week's edition of Campus Convos.
Hi, I'm Jade Sewell, and on this week's episode of Campus Convos, we're talking to students about Avengers Endgame. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Endgame?
10. I'm excited for it.
I'm like a 5 out of 10. I'm more excited for John Wick 3 to come out.
Not to quote Spinal Tap, but 11. I've definitely been looking forward to this for like over a year.
10.
Oh, absolutely.
Or 11, I guess.
Who's your favorite Avenger?
Probably Captain America.
I think Doctor Strange is the coolest, but I gotta give my love to Star-Lord, Peter Quill. I think he's definitely the best out there.
Iron Man.
Probably Spider-Man. He's always, like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, obviously, so he's the best.
Probably the classic Iron Man, you know. I know. I like Iron Man a lot, but.
Do you have any predictions about who will live and who will die in Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, my biggest prediction is Tony Stark is gonna sacrifice himself in some way and like bring them all back, like the ones who passed away in Infinity War.
All right, true or false, Brie Larson is the most beautiful woman you've ever seen in your life.
True, very true.
I'm gonna have to say false, but I can't give you an actual woman though, so.
Who do you think the strongest Avenger is?
I think Thor is definitely. He probably beats some butt out there.
The Hulk. It's gotta be the Hulk.
Definitely Thor. He's a badass.
Oh, sorry. I was just breaking up with my boyfriend for Brie Larson, aka Captain Marvel. Well, today we learned that some Bradley students are right. Captain Marvel is the strongest Avenger, and some are wrong. Tony Stark is a horrible, horrible character. Reporting for BUTV News, I'm Jade Sewell. Let's go out and see Avengers Endgame this weekend.
After weeks of procrastinating, Joey Simo finally crossed off a particularly rocky item from his senior bucket list, proving mind over fear of heights and average strength.
Hello everyone, my name is Joey Simo, and for this dreaded episode of Joey's Senior Bucket List, I will be attempting to climb Markin's menacingly high 46-foot rock climbing wall. And with me, as always, but will be going up the wall with me, is my Senior Bucket List camera person, Rachel.
Ready?
How do you feel, Rachel?
I'm excited.
Are you nervous?
No.
I am very nervous.
Let's go.
Let's climb, Rachel. Claudio.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah, anytime.
So, helping me with this climb is Bradley University rock climbing legend, Claudio DeBong. What advice do you have to climb this very tall rock climbing wall?
I'd say just keep at it, don't give up, and just try to get over your fears.
All right, let's climb this wall.
How tall is this, like 10 feet?
Fine.
You got it. Get that right hand up. There you go.
Well, I never said I'd make it to the top, but I attempted it, and that's what matters. So, I'd say it's crossed off the bucket list. I made it about a solid 10 feet, 7 feet, almost 10 feet, and that's good enough for me. Remember, attempt, not finish. That's good enough for me. All right. First attempt. Embarrassing, yes, but I do have a little bit more faith in myself, and I had some time to rest. And I think I can make it to about 10 feet. I think I can do it. I did it! If you or your friends would like to climb to the 15-foot wall of heroes, then come to the Markin Recreation Center because the rock wall is open every weekday 4 to 10 p.m. For BUTV News,
I'm Claudio.
I'm Rachel.
And I am Joey Simo.
Thank you, Joey. Join us after the break to learn how the Braves did against U of I, Illinois State, and Drake.
And what will I say in the next tease? Find out next.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
All right, Larry, so we went against some big schools. We got U of I, Illinois State, and Drake.
Yeah.
Good news, bad news?
U of I, you know, their color's orange.
Are you rooting for the other team?
I don't know. Am I?
I don't know. Well, let's see if Amani's favorite team, or, you know, based on her outfit today, beat Bradley. We'll start with baseball. After picking up their first victory against Dallas Baptist since 2016 on Friday, Bradley baseball was swept in a doubleheader on Saturday to snap the nation's longest active win streak at 12. The Patriots won the first game 14-3 in 7 innings, but needed the help of a late inning rally to down the Braves 7-6 in the nightcap. Bradley returned to Dozer Park on Tuesday for a rematch of the team's April 16th victory over Amani's favorite team, Illinois. Bradley took the first matchup 12-8, but this one would be more of a pitcher's duel. In the third inning, Michael Michalak led off the inning with a lead-off double to get the offense started for the U of I. Later in the inning, Michael Massey would single to score Michalak. Must be that Michael connection there for Illinois. They would take the 1-0 lead. In the bottom half of the inning, Luke Shadid, he would start with a double of his own. One of 2 hits on the day for Shadid. He would take a big round around second base, but he would stick for a double. Brendan Doherty would single right after Shadid, but it would not be enough to score Shadid. Dan Bolt, with 2 outs in the inning, hits a line drive right back to the pitcher. Unfortunately, he caught a bad break there, and the Braves could not score, and the rally was ended early. The Braves would tie things up later in the game to send it to extras, but their effort would fall just short by a score of 4-2 in 10 innings. Bradley's 4-5 conference record puts them in a tie for 6th place with Missouri State. That tie will be broken this weekend as Bradley will head to Springfield for a 3-game set. Friday's first pitch is set for 2 p.m. Bradley softball returned to Peoria on Tuesday for a doubleheader with Illinois State. In the first game, ISU rocked Bradley starter Grace French for 4 runs in the first inning and scored 3 more off relief pitcher Emma Jackson in the second on their way to an 8-1 victory. The Braves turned the tables in the second game, winning 9-1 in 5 innings. Kaylee Wysocki had 4 RBI, including her 11th homer of the season. Starter Julie Kestis was sharp in the circle, allowing just 1 run on 4 hits while striking out 6. The team will take on Indiana State at home this weekend, starting with a doubleheader on Saturday. Bradley will recognize its seniors at the pregame ceremony prior to the series finale on Sunday. And last but not least, Bradley tennis wrapped up their historic regular season in victorious fashion over the weekend, defeating both Drake and UNI by scores of 6-1. Saturday's victory over Drake was the program's first over the Bulldogs, and Sunday's win over UNI was the team's 15th of the season, marking the first time the program has hit the milestone. Additionally, junior Natalia Barbary and freshman Bozana Loiper become the first players in Missouri Valley history to complete an undefeated conference season. The team will travel to Cedar Falls, Iowa to compete in the conference championship on Friday.
I just want to say that just because I'm wearing orange doesn't mean I'm rooting for the opponent. I just love orange.
Well, we lost, so it's your fault.
I don't have control. Anyway, all right, be sure to stay tuned and find out about upcoming events and a special musical guest.
The thing I'm going to say for my last tease is this.
For too long, there's been too much silence.
We've stepped back when we should have stepped up.
We lack the bravery to have the tough conversations.
It stops now.
It stopped with us.
As campus leaders, we recognize that sexual assault is a real problem.
And it's time to take action.
We're standing together as a community because this issue affects all of us.
And we can only end it if we are braver together.
Starting now, we don't look the other way. We make it a move and do something.
Before it's too late.
We promote a culture of respect for all students.
We say something even when it's easier to remain silent.
We stand up for survivors.
We never blame them.
We hold our friends, our leaders, our teammates,
and ourselves accountable for our actions.
And when we see something wrong, we're brave enough to interrupt. We say something.
We do something. We watch out for each other.
Always.
Being a Bradley Brave means
ending the silence.
Together, we can work to end sexual assault and rape culture in our community. Together, we can do the right thing. Together, we can do the brave thing. Make your move and stand with us.
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 And we can all be braver together.
That commercial gets me every time. Anyway, here's what's up with the campus, on campus near you. As part of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, come get to know the officers who serve our campus and community, raise awareness for sexual assault, and show their support to the survivors. The event will be held Thursday morning in the Student Center. Do not forget to wear your teal ribbon if you have one. The Bradley University Women's Choir, under the direction of Dr. Carrie Walters, will present a concert of music for women's voices on Thursday, April 25th at 7:30 p.m. at the Dingledine Music Center. Admission is free for students and $5 for the general public. Tickets will be available at the doors on the evening. The second annual Bradley Idol is soon approaching. Come to Renco on Friday, April 26th to see your friends, classmates, and fellow Braves compete to be the next Bradley Idol. Comedian Kevin Yee will be hosting, and there will be some of your favorite faculty as special guest judges. The showcase begins at 6 p.m.
Well, that's it for BUTV News this week. I'm Tirza Sprigella.
I'm Larry Larson.
I'm Misa Nagase.
I'm Keegan Burkhart.
And I'm Imani Shamsuddin. We leave you tonight with a performance from Pierre Paul, who you can see at the Bradley Idol this weekend. Have a great week, and don't forget to be brave.
Turn down the lights, turn down the bed, turn down these voices inside my head. Lay down with me, tell me no lies. Just hold me closer, don't patronize, don't patronize. 'Cause I can't make you love me if you don't. And you can't make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark, in these final hours, I will lay down my heart and feel the power if you won't. No, you won't. I'll close my eyes and then I won't see the love you don't feel when you're holding me. Morning will come and I'll do what's right. Just give me till then to give up this fight, then I will give up this fight.